Thanks, Sam. Hey, Greg.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thank you.
How's
Greg's,
how's Chris?
oh, he's good.
Good, good,
Fabulous, actually.
good,
Uh,
good, good.
yeah, it's just I was hoping you can take a look at my right shoulder. I think I've in another stage of my healing process. The
Okay,
pain has diminished, and so now I'm able to do some, workouts like more Pilates type. But
okay.
whenever I exert effort, the muscles on my upper arm bunches up like really
Okay.
hard
Can I
knots.
see the? Okay, she's gonna let me see the screen here
You're
for a
gonna have to
second.
show yourself, right? Is that what you
Yeah,
Oh,
said?
yeah,
show
either.
myself 1 second.
Yeah. Okay.
Ah,
So see how I'm just from the side, I'm going up like this.
yes.
Can you do that?
It stops right here.
Okay, so that is an impingement. That's what I suspected way back when. And
Yeah.
so so what happens is the as you elevate the arm, the clavicle kind of moves, and there's these two points where as it moves, they kind of start to compress, and there's a little piece of cartilage that sticks out there. And so what
That's why
happens
it
is,
hurts here. I'm sorry, my hands are all blue because I spilled blue
yeah,
Tansy
yeah,
on myself.
that's
Uh,
okay. So, but
it's
like
right
when
here.
that happens, like the cartilage gets pinched, and then it causes like these neurological responses, like down in the deltoid, down in the front, in the part of the pectoralis major and minor. Sometimes it will radiate down the arm, and you'll even start to get puffiness down in the thumb web. And so the goal with that is to take tension out of the whole rotator cuff. So you basically want to put things like on the shoulder blade itself, like things that are like have muscle relaxing properties. I don't need to see it
Yeah,
anymore.
I just, you can undo your.
Spikenard, vetiver, marjoram, basil, petitgrain, even things like pepper, and you can rotate them, but you want to hit like all parts of of the the shoulder blade itself. And oh,
So what Chris does at night is he puts either wintergreen or pepper.
right, can we go up
Yep.
just okay, so can you see like when you
Yes.
see that space right there, like when you raise your arm, you see how it kind of comes together. You see
Yeah.
that? Okay, so that's what's happening is it's pinching there, and then it causes a radiating pain that goes down the arm. So you put things like up on the upper part here, but this area, like it's the inside of this, and this muscle will connect over to the bone. There's a small one and a big one that just kind of fan out like this over there. So in this area, you're going to want to rub some oil on that area real super specifically. And if he pokes around in his fingers, like when he hits the spot, you'll know it because it will kind of like hurt a little bit.
Okay.
And so my guess is both the shoulder blade and then that inside part. It's basically, if you want to look it up, it's the teres major and the teres minor that are also impacting the movement of the compression of the rotator cuff. And so if you unwind that, I mean, I've had guys that it was so bad that it was surgical, and over a period of time we just kept going at it and going at it. We unwound it, and 10-15 years would go by and still no need for surgery. Like it's just literally the cuff has gotten so tight that it clamps down, and all you're trying to do is create some space so that that area doesn't pinch as hard. And so you can tell when the cuff is starting to get looser, because you'll start to be able, like if you raise your arm up from the side, you'll start to be going higher and higher. Because like this is another thing that people do. Like here, you went, you stopped. People go like, yeah, I can get it up. And they'll go like that. Like, they'll move their body to get their arm up, but their arm still didn't go past that spot.
Right. Or mine turns outward or
Right.
inward.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep working that rotator cuff. And if you want, I can send you the trigger points. I can send them from that spot so you can do healing on them as well. But a lot of times putting the topical oils on is very, very helpful. It's not quite the armpit. It's like behind the armpit. Like you can actually touch those spots from here. But if you start poking around, like you go past the armpit, like you're starting to try to reach for the shoulder blade and you start poking around, you'll feel some really like tender, like almost they feel like a bruise almost. That's your teres major and minor, and there's just a ton of tension in them.
Okay, and then just green and like
sweep of green and red. Like go green, then red. And then you could energize with that as well, but more sweeping, like sweep with green and then red.
It's really a slow process, huh?
It takes a while to undo that. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, like if you knew somebody who did like body work, but not just like massage stuff, like they would have to be almost like trained in osteopathic principles. They could unwind it, but I'll tell you right now, it's not pleasant, but they could do it. The oils are a much easier version. It takes longer, but sometimes they'll do it with physical therapy, but usually unwinding it is better than exercises. Like I find sometimes the exercises actually make it worse.
So don't exercise it.
No, you can still exercise it, but don't like try to unwind the shoulder with exercise. Like you still get your exercise and everything, but just don't push the limits, but just keep unwinding it over a period of time.
Thank you, Greg.
Yeah, you're so welcome. And keep me posted though. That honestly, that is when I used to treat people in person, that was the number one shoulder complaint is that kind of injury there.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. And
Yeah.
thanks to Riley for aggravating it, pulling pulling me upside down.
Yeah.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
Hey, Chris.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
You're so
Greg.
welcome. You're so welcome.
And then Megan, your hand was raised. and I
Hey,
think it
Miss
was
Megan.
Troy after that.
Hey, I'm just dying to tell you how it went with Aryan. It was amazing. You said it sounded like his adrenals were overactivated. So you gave me clary sage for front heart, back heart, forehead, back head, and then said to, use some Petitgrin and Mandarin. So like it worked so fast. I just cannot believe it. I'm so happy. I mean, he only did, I think, 2 Mandarin baths, a few nights of the Petitgrin, and then a few times of the clary sage with the pattern. And on Saturday, because we talked on Tuesday, and on Saturday we took him to the mall, which we were like, this is just going to be a mess. He's going to nag us the whole time. We were already prepping him. You will get a treat and you will get a small toy if you're good, you know. Normally he would just nag and hammer us to death. And we're riding in the car and he's quiet. And we're like, okay, this is weird. Like, what's going on? And then like Ajay's in a dressing room at a store and he's just sitting in the chair. Like he has not even complained yet. And by then we would have already been like regretting even taking him anywhere, right?
Right.
I already give you 10 more examples. He's like a different person. It's like the whole house is just quiet now. I just cannot believe it. And it was
Tremendous.
so fast. It was
Yeah.
like 3 days of doing a little bit, didn't even take any time, like bam. So thank you so much. So like maybe
You're so welcome. I love that. Like you know the idea was kind of like what we were talking about earlier in one of the situations was you know sometimes the nervous system just gets super agitated and you just have to like calm the nerves down. And you know it's not even sometimes just the sympathetic nerves. Like at some point you just hit like the whole nervous system, you know, the central nervous system. You just calm it down. And you know that's what we targeted and it sounds like it worked. And so
yeah.
yeah.
I just
I
wish
think,
I'd
you know-
asked you years ago. I'm like, it was
Yeah.
easy. That's it.
we were talking. We have Samantha and I have a mutual friend who has a child that's half Indian, and apparently there's a little bit. I forgot about this, but she reminded me. But there's a little bit of a predisposition to the nervous system getting agitated,
Huh.
And so, yeah, you just got to tune it up from time to time. Like if it gets
Interesting.
agitated like that, you just like tune it up. And this person actually took their child and went through this whole process where they were doing things to balance out the brain and everything, but still calming down the central nervous system actually balances out the brain. And so when it's agitated, you go more sensory mind. But like if you can calm the central nervous system down, it actually starts to be both sides start functioning better. Like, you know.
Yeah,
and
I
so-
mean, I'm
yeah.
thinking if I had sat and done chronic healing, it probably would have taken me countless hours. I just can't believe how easy this was.
Yeah.
I'm just, like blown away. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yay. Great. I love that. And thanks for sharing. Like sometimes, you know, we talk about things, but I never know how things go or whatever. So I love the feedback.
Oh yeah, I'm just bursting to tell you. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Go ahead, Troy.
Hey, Troy.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, you're so quiet. Now we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I had my Bluetooth speaker on. So I'm just still struggling with the breathing, and I've been having on and off for the last like 5 or 6 days. I've been having like this sharp pain in the chest on the left side. And it will feel like I like can't take a breath.
Okay.
Like I feel like I have to hold my breath. If I breathe
Okay.
in, it gets like really painful for a second. And so I'll just kind of like barely sip a breath, and it feels like painful to breathe in and out. So
So it's both.
yeah. So it's happened 3 or 4 times now. It started happening actually about 30 or 40 minutes ago while we were in Q&A. And I did the same thing I did last couple times, which is I just took like 10, 15 drops of anise, and then I started breathing large.
Mm-hmm.
And
And what
that-
happens when you breathe the large? Does it calm it down or no?
Yeah, it'll calm it down. But it's just kind of it's just a little scary of a feeling.
Yeah. So sometimes, you know, I'm going to need to do like right after we're done with the Zooms tonight, I'll do a little dive into my notes. I want to make sure that the lining of the lungs is not super inflamed. It's sounding a little bit like that. Good thing is if that's what it is, it's not it's not critical in the point of like it's life-threatening or something like that. Bad side is it's painful as crap. Like it's really super painful. And let me look up the symptoms and the things and do a little scanning, and we'll shoot you a little email. But that the chest is tightening up. Okay, and just so like let's just do a little housekeeping. Like, has there been like strong emotions or something that like has caused you agitation in the last like 2, 3, 4 days or week or whatever? Like it's just you're just dealing with this. There's not like other factors that are playing anything in this, or
There's some other stuff. I honestly like felt like while I had COVID, I got it, and it was real bad. Like was it 3, 4 weeks ago?
Mhm.
The physical part of like getting it and then running a high fever for several days, and the chills and all that stuff, like that was actually not as hard for me as the following couple of weeks. where there's like this difficulty breathing, and then like I feel pretty weirdly moody. Like I feel like I'm feeling almost depressed at times, and then at other times I'll feel like I don't know exactly how to describe it, but it's like almost like there's like some anger and like a manic kind of state. And I've noticed like it going back and forth between those on and off. So there's been like a kind of really emotional aspect
Okay.
to the experience.
No, that helps. So let's do this. I'm going to look up pleurisy after we're doing this, just so I know some more of the symptoms, because it's been like 15 years since I've treated it. So when it's been a long time, I like to go back and look at my notes. And so let me go through and look at my notes. And do you have, like, you remember from the immune class, the blue healer, like that body tonic?
I have it straight, like the Blue Healer 5 milliliter, and then I have the tonic.
Let's have you take the tonic and, like, you know, shake it up real good, and then rub it on your chest, on the sides of your ribs, and, you know, whatever part of your back you can hit, like a little bit of your abdomen, and let that soak in. And then when we shoot you the email tonight, let me know how it feels after the fact.
Okay.
Okay.
Will do.
That will tell me something. That's part therapy and part like evaluation. Like that will tell me something that will help me evaluate if it's pleurisy or not.
Okay, I actually have felt that once before, about 20 years ago when I was in college, and I went to a doctor, and he was like, "Oh, you've got pleurisy. That sounds like pleurisy."
Yeah, I suspect you have pleurisy, dude. Yeah, it is really painful. Like, so just know that it's not like something crazy like you're gonna die. It just sucks for a while. But I have some treatments for pleurisy. I just have to look them up. It's not something I've done for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, bummer, but at the same time, at least we kind of might be on the right track and can bring you some relief, but it is uncomfortable for a little bit. It's just, you know, the helichrysum should have helped. The blue healer should have helped. There's still some other things we can do. So let me look it up, and we'll shoot you an email tonight.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're so welcome.
And just really quick to clarify, and then we can start our practice session. On the last session, did you say that Angelica is good to rehab the immune system when you're down?
Yeah. So it's not so much like, it's just like over a period of time, like with prolonged periods of stress, or age-related diminishing of the immune system that's not responding to like normal treatments. Like, you know, like if your immune system gets a little depleted, a little run down, and then you take some immune stimulant, or you take something like, you know, Neoli or Bayloral, and you pump back up and you're fine, or Time, you know, something like that. That's good. But what starts happening when the immune system starts getting run down, it's almost like the immune system is older than your body. Like it has like a functional age that, you know, you might be 30, but your immune system is, you know, 90. And so it's just wear and tear on the immune system. And it actually like won't respond to normal things that would strengthen the immune system normally. And so the only thing that I've ever found that will rehab the immune system like that is Angelica. And Angelica will do it kind of quickly. Like, you know, if it's been there for a long period of time, it's been chronic, it might take a little while. But, you know, this idea of like a functional age of the immune system, they're actually looking at it now to treat really severe viral infections. And they're looking at it now an orthodox medicine and treating things like cancers and things, like they're trying to jumpstart the natural function of the immune system to fight off the cancer rather than trying to do chemo and other things, surgeries and things. And so the idea is to like basically rehab the immune system and like make it function again like you're in your 30s or 40s or 20s or whatever it is. And so herbally or essential oil wise, Angelica is the only thing right now that I'm aware of. I've been looking into this for a while for the COVID related conditions, but also back in the day to augment treating cancers. And, not that it's going to cure it, but it's like, you want to throw things that are going to work really well for the body at things like cancer. And so, always looking at different approaches to augment whatever treatment a person is choosing to do. And so one that we were looking at really hard was this idea of the aged immune system, like being older than what your physical body is. And so if you could keep your immune system strong, in essence, it also means that your body doesn't age as much. So it would actually have a reflection on potential, like even like better skin, less wrinkles, in theory. Like, I'm not saying that that's what would happen, but the aging process is basically an inflammatory process that the body's just not able to fight off the inflammation as well over a period of time. And then your body starts breaking down. So if you can slow down the aging process, which is the inflammatory process, then the body doesn't age as much. And so, yeah.
What would the application be?
Internal. Like I do several drops on the wrist, but I mean, definitely internal.
Would it also work for autoimmune?
Autoimmune, I would do more of the Moroccan thyme on the thymus. That's a little bit of a different thing. That's the immune system's being hyperreactive. And so I would go more the Moroccan thyme and the protocol that we have for autoimmune issues.
Another question did come in.
Okay, that's fine.
Pulmonary embolism secondary to COVID. Should I ask?
Yeah. Like a person's in the middle of it, or you're trying to prevent it, or that's super serious. Like
You can type
yeah,
in, you can
type in or
unmute.
unmute yourself or whatever. You're preventing, you're in the middle of it, or it just happened.
She might be typing in. Kathy? It's a friend. Did it just happen? She was hospitalized, or the friend was hospitalized. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy.
Yeah, like I mean, sometimes that's like can be surgical, and then they're on medications for a while, like blood thinners and things. I don't know that you need to augment that too much. I'd keep them comfortable, but it's such a serious thing that I'd almost like not even try to augment anything. Just let the docs do that, because I mean, honestly, prior to COVID, that was a thing that happened a lot with COVID, and people survived it. People usually don't survive that. Like, the ones that were happening in COVID, for some reason, it was happening. But that's super, super serious. Here's what I would say about it, like even after the fact, is she'll get her medications if they had to go in a surgery and clear out blood clots and things like that. Two key things is, you know, she's going to be on a medication that's going to reduce the potential for clots and things like that. And then the key is like hard. You have to reduce inflammation in the body, like just big time reduce inflammation. The inflammation combined with like certain kinds of cells in the body will produce the potential for clotting and potential for inflammatory responses, and the body can just be super inflamed. And so when they are done with the doctor's care, suggest that they use, like, you know, black cumin, frankincense, celery seed. You know, we can set up a little regimen for them, but they basically just got to clean up the inflammatory material in the body. I like the idea of black cumin alternating with celery seed, which would help flush out the inflammatory material, and then something like ginger or turmeric to prevent the production of more inflammatory material. Frankincense would do that as well. But yeah, I'm glad to hear your friend's okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah, they just got discharged.
like, I don't know if
today.
you felt a bit like I got really quiet. I was like, oh, that's bad. Yeah, that they survived, like they're probably out of the woods, but yeah. Yeah, good for your friend. You know, maybe shoot us the name so we can maybe even just like I can go and check on them a little bit.
So if you want to email us, I'll
Yeah,
put the email.
email me the name so I can look at the person.
Thank you so much, Greg.
Yeah.
And I think we still have a few minutes.
We have a few minutes, so let's do this. You know, we were talking about over the weekend, for the ones that were there, the materialization breath, and like how it helps to like basically stimulate the mental permanency, but then bring light not only into the system, but into the situations. And when you're sitting and focusing on goals and things like this, it's bringing light in, which, think of light is the thing that helps evolve the situation. When something's stagnant and not moving forward, or it's just, you know, repetitive pattern, it's lacking light, right? It's too much structure and not enough light. So doing the materialization breath is kind of like doing a prayer without words. Like you're bringing in light into the situation and moving it forward. So this works also when you're seeing like negative things in the world, in your life, in the news, whatever's going on. You can sit and do the materialization breath also for that situation, because it helps bring light into the situation. So this is also key in working with angelic energies. As you go through and you do this particular process with the angelic energies, it's helped bringing that specific kind of light into your system, physicalizing it into the body, and going all the way down to the form, the basic chakra, and eventually even out through your feet. And so that starts to impact that realm that is below your feet, right? And so let's have you do this. Let's have you pull out an oil that is either associated with an angel or archangel. If you don't have that, then pull out an oil that you like to work with. Like it could even be, you know, like Marianne was talking about how she likes to work with tarragon. It could be something like that. It could be just pick out an oil. Okay, and just as a refresher, you're going to hold the bottle to your chest. Again, don't strain your neck. If this thing is hard on your neck, then just do the part that you can do. But you're basically going to move your head down like so. You're going to take a long, slow, deep breath through your nose, head up, and then exhale. Hold your breath, down, up, exhale. Down, inhale. Up, exhale. Down, inhale. Up, exhale. Down, inhale. Up, exhale. Do about 4 or 5 more of those on your own, just at your own pace. Down, inhale. Up, exhale. Down, inhale. Up, exhale. Down, up, down. Then when you're done, just be still. Keep your eyes closed, just be still. Maintain your stillness and awareness. Bottle to your chest, chin down, and do about 8 or 9 of the materialization breath. Chin down and then up, exhale. Then about 8 more of those. Just be still, be aware. Yeah. Just maintain your stillness. Something's happening, just let it incubate. Bottle to your chest, head down. long, slow. We'll do the materialization about 8 or 9 times, just long, slow, deep breaths. No, like, I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Bottle to your chest, head down, and then inhale, head up, exhale. Do 8 or 9 of the materialization breath. And then when you're done, just be still. I'm going to chant a holy name. Just be still. Yo he Yehoshua Vahe Yo he Yehoshua Vahe. Yod He Yehoshua Vahe. Yod He Yehoshua Vahe. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. Yehoshua. Yeah. Oh, thanks for joining us tonight, you guys. If you feel like it, join us for the Astara where we bless the prayer petitions. It will be a continuation of what we're doing right here, right now. If not, I hope you can join us tomorrow night for the Son of Fun class, and some of you will be joining us on the weekend. So look forward to seeing you guys, and thanks for joining.